Welcome to the channel. If you're a fan of horror stories, you've come to the right place. On this channel, you'll find stories that are true, some are fictional, but as long as they send a chill down your spine and make the hair on the back of your neck stand up, if you like that sort of thing. A fair warning though, some stories contain graphic, violent or sexual content, so viewer discretion is advised. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Fix It, written by Redditor, Head of Spectre. I was about an hour outside of San Francisco when I saw her, standing along the side of the road with a parasol in her hand to block out the sun. She wore a flowing blue sundress and her blonde hair seemed disheveled and messy. The wind kicked up plumes of sand from the nearby beach and blew them around her, although she barely reacted to them. I saw her waving at me from a good distance away, but I couldn't tell you why I stopped. She looked desperate, I guess. Maybe that was enough to melt my heart. I slowed down to the side of the road to stop for her, and could see the look of relief wash over her face as I rolled down my passenger side window. "Oh, thank God, I was worried nobody was going to stop," she said, leaning in towards me. "I don't suppose you're any good with vehicles?" "I know a thing or two," I admitted. "Car trouble?" "Yeah, something like that. My kids are with the RV, but I don't want to leave them for too long, and my cell phone isn't working. Do you think you could help me out?" Well, by this point, I was involved, so I wasn't in much of a position to say no, so I unlocked the car door for her. This woman looked pretty petite. If push came to shove, she probably wasn't going to stab me to death. If anything, she probably had more to fear from me, but she didn't seem the least bit nervous. "Sure thing. You want me to take a look at it? See if I can't save you the repair bill?" "Would you? Thanks so much," she said, getting in the car with me. "We were just on our way to a campground up around Half Moon Bay. The turnoff isn't far. Thanks again." "No problem," I said, putting the car back in gear and making my way back down the highway. "You're damn lucky you ran into me," I said. "Used to work as a mechanic." "Did you really?" she asked. "Oh, years and years ago," I said. "Nowadays I mostly run the office. More money in it." She nodded in understanding. "I can imagine," she said. "Oh, I'm Erin, by the way." "Sydney, nice to meet you." We passed by a beach with a small hot dog vendor by the highway. Erin craned her neck, looking for something on the road. "Just up ahead," she said. "Like I said, it's not far. There's a dirt road. Right there." She pointed to it and I saw it clearly. I put on my turn signal and hung a left, away from the shimmering ocean and up the old dirt road. My car rocked from the unpaved path, but I kept on following it up a steep incline. As we ascended, we passed a sign that read, "Campground 3 miles." "My family used to take me up here all the time," she said, staring out the passenger side window at the ocean. "It was nice. I always wanted to take my kids up here. My husband passed away about 2 years ago. We haven't really had a vacation since then. I thought renting an RV and making some memories would be a nice change of pace." "Yeah? My wife and I sometimes take our kids camping at a nice spot a little ways north of here. Never seen this campground before though." "It's beautiful," Erin said, "but I guess any campground out here would be beautiful. The breeze, the ocean." I nodded in quiet agreement. "How old are your kids?" I asked. "My eldest is 12, my youngest is 9. Yours?" "My daughter's 17 now. My son's 14. They grow up fast, don't they? I keep looking at my daughter and wondering where that little kid went. Now she's off driving, having her own social life, working her first job." I shook my head in disbelief. "Time flies," Erin sighed. "It just slips away from you." The road was getting a bit narrower as it wound up the hill, and the unpaved rockiness to it didn't do it any favors. Someone had installed a guardrail, but it looked rusted and worn down. Erin stared at it, her gaze intense as we passed it. "Christ, gonna be hell to get a tow up here," I said. "You're telling me," she said. "Well, if I'm lucky, you'll be able to fix the problem. Not that I've ever been particularly lucky, but one can always hope." "One can," I said. Erin paused for a moment before speaking again. "Slow down, this turn is a doozy." I nodded and reduced my speed, inching the car along the hairpin turn. As I did, I saw a large break in the rusted guardrail. Jesus, I said before looking over towards Erin. But Erin was gone. My passenger seat was empty. Erin? I stopped the car before noticing her from the corner of my eye. She was standing by the brake in the guardrail, although I didn't know how the hell she'd gotten out of my car. Her blue dress billowed in the wind as I threw the car into park and got out. Erin? She stared at me, her expression intense before pointing down, through to the break in the guardrail and toward the bottom of the hill. Fix it, she said softly. At first I didn't know what she was talking about, or maybe I just didn't want to know, but as I got closer to the edge, I finally saw what she'd wanted me to see, a broken RV lying on its side, far at the bottom of the hill. Fix it. Erin's voice was cracking now. I could see tears in her eyes. Please, please just fix it. I had to move. The hill was steep for a car, but I could make my way down, and that's exactly what I did. The weeds caught on my jeans as I raced down to the bottom of the hill, almost stumbling and falling a few times as I did. My brain wasn't working. I wasn't really thinking anymore. I just wanted to get to the RV. The metal of the body was hot to the touch. It'd been baking in the sun for at least a few hours. The RV was on its side. The door was blocked by the ground. The cabin looked like it had been completely crushed. My stomach turned, but I tried not to think about what that meant. Erin said her kids were with the RV. Were there kids in here? Were they still alive? I had to know. I ran toward the back of the RV where a cracked window sat. I couldn't see inside through the grime and the dust, so I decided I needed to break it. I grabbed the first thing I saw, a rock, and slammed it against the glass, over and over again until it shattered. Hello? I called out. Hello? Is anyone here? In the dim light of the RV I saw movement, a small head poking out from behind a piece of furniture. A 12-year-old boy with blonde hair just like Erin's. He looked at me in disbelief, as if he wasn't sure if I was real. We're in here, he said, his voice hoarse and weak. Sit tight, alright? I'm gonna get you out. I cleared the broken glass away from the window before crawling inside the RV. I could see the boy and I could see a younger girl beside him. Come on, it's safe to come through, come on. They didn't hesitate. They crawled through the broken glass and debris to reach me. The boy made his sister go first, and I pulled her to safety before helping him through. You need to go back for Mommy, the girl said. You need to go back in right now. Mommy? Erin? She's still inside? She's still inside, the girl shouted, although the boy's face was cold and grim. He looked at me, a knowing look in his eyes. Somewhere behind him I could see Erin standing on the hill. She stared at me, a sad but somewhat content smile on her face. As her daughter screamed for me to rescue her, I knew that there was no saving Erin. There never had been. But she hadn't brought me here to save her. Her son hugged his sister and she sobbed, and when I looked again, Erin was gone. I called emergency services, then brought the children up the hill to my car, where they could sit in the AC. The kids didn't have anywhere else to go, so I did the only thing I realistically could. I took them in myself. My wife doesn't mind the new additions to our family, and we've taken things slow with them so far. They're still grieving. The boy, James, has adjusted about as well as he can. He's a good kid, smart, kind. Erin raised him right. I intend to do the same. The girl, Lana, it hit her a little bit harder. In time, I'm sure she'll find a way to heal, and I'll be right there for her every step of the way. I don't know if I should tell them about Erin. I don't want them to feel patronized. Even I'm not sure I fully believe my own story, and I saw it all with my own eyes. But even if I never tell them, I'll make sure they know that she loved them. I can't fix the damage that's been done, but I can build something new for these kids, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, let me know and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel and ring my bell so that you don't miss out on future videos and awesome spine-tingling, goosebump-giving stories. If you don't do these things, the like button will haunt your dreams and stalk your days forever.